I've been following Danilo for a while. There's no way not to because of his career, his journey. And you start to see things differently when you're there every day, when you're working, when you're exchanging ideas right there in person. And Danilo is a guy I really look up to. I joke around that whatever he does in training, I always try to watch and copy.
Hey guys, good morning, Flamengo fans. This is Flamengo. Welcome to the Paparazzo Rubro Negro channel. If you're just joining us, I invite you to follow, like, and share on all platforms. If you're on YouTube, I invite you to subscribe down below, turn on notifications by clicking the bell, and drop a like on the video. We're back. The international break is over. Today, Mengo is playing, and we're going to bring you all the information about this big match. Flamengo against Red Bull Bragantino, Flamengo's players, coaching staff, they're already in Atibaia at the hotel. We're here bringing you a lot of information. There's also transfer market news and an exclusive interview with defender Vitão, who is expected to start tonight against Bragantino. We're going to bring you everything here, including possible signings that might happen. It wasn't an April Fool's joke, and if it was, it became reality because we've already done the research to bring it to you here. So the situation is real, it's true. Tá? Então, if it was made up, I don't know. I just know that now, after we did the research, it was confirmed. So that's it. I'm going to bring you the squad list right away. Andril, Ayrton, Lucas Carrascal, Daniel Salles, Danilo de Arrascaeta, De La Cruz, Diogo Alves, Royal, Eric Pulgar, Cebolinha, Varela, Tchau, Jorginho, Luiz Araújo, Léo Ortiz, Paquetá, Léo Pereira, Pedro, Plata, Rossi, Lino, Vitão, Andy Alaciano. Even though Léo Pereira is on the list, Danilo is on the list, they came back from the Brazilian national team. Arrascaeta is also on the list, De La Cruz. Players who were with their national teams are on the list as well, but I believe these players shouldn't start the match. I just want to remind you that you have Haroldo's Caravan here, where you can secure your spot at the Maracanã Games in the Libertadores Brasileirão Copa do Brasil with the ticket included, okay? And there's also a package to Cusco with the Caravan, and man, they've been serving Flamengo fans since the 1981 World Cup. It's a really good service, it's a very reliable service, and they always serve these fans with high quality service. The WhatsApp contact will be in both the description and the pinned comment. And we're here, of course, with the support of Mais Cabelo, the slimmest weight loss program. You can lose weight in a healthy way without hair loss. And also to remind you that with MEPS, man, did you see that awesome car yesterday? Did you see the videos here? Did you see the videos here? Man, we're in a Mustang here in the United States. You can also reserve your Mustang, right? That awesome car from MEPS, rentacar.com.br, okay? I also left the MEPS link in the pinned comment. Well, let's go. Before bringing up Dybala's situation, let me give you, since we've already shared the squad list, now I'll bring you all the information about this big game coming up at 9:30 p.m. Brasilia time. Right? It's an important game for Flamengo. Flamengo can't lose touch with the teams at the top, right? The stadium is in Bragança Paulista, right? The municipal stadium, Cícero de Souza Marques. It's the 9th round for Flamengo and the 8th, right? Broadcast on TV Globo, on free-to-air TV for some states, and premiere on pay-per-view. There won't be coverage on Flamengo TV because Flamengo isn't the home team, okay? Flamengo's probable lineup: Rossi, Emerson Royal, Léo Ortiz, Vitão, and Ayrton Lucas, Eric Pulgar, Jorginho, and Paquetá, Carrascal or Luiz Araújo, Samuel Lino and Pedro, okay? This is the likely lineup for coach Leonardo Jardim. Out Saul Niguez. Alexandro is also injured. Saul is in the final stage of recovery from surgery. Bruno Henrique is also in the final stage of recovery from his pubalgia. He's already doing physical training and everything else, and he's already been cleared by physical therapy. He could have even been included. There was some doubt about whether he would be included or not, and he wasn't. And Everton Araujo is suspended, okay? Probable lineup for Bragantino: Clayton, Hurtado, Alex Vinicius, Gustavo Marques, and Juninho Capixaba. Matheus Fernandes and Gabriel, Lucas Barbosa, Rodriguinho Mosqueira, Eduardo Sacha, okay? Or Cidro Pita, so the coach is Wagner Mancini. Players out: Fabrício, Guzmán Rodrigues, Vanderlan, and Fernando injured. Eduardo Sacha is questionable, okay? So that's why there's a possibility of him being a starter or not. The referee is Fernando Antonio Mendes de Sales. Yeah, he's from Paraíba, right? No, actually from Pará. Sorry, everyone. From Pará, okay? The assistants are Guilherme Dias Camilo from Minas Gerais and Acacio Menezes Leão from Pará. The VAR official is Diego Pombo Lopez from Bahia. So all the information here for you. Let's talk about Dybala's situation. We also brought you this under the radar story, especially after Cesar Luis Merlo's report, right? Our investigation found that Flamengo wants to go all in to sign Paulo Dybala. The only issue raised by the club is the Argentine's medical condition, okay? This is already being analyzed internally, focusing only on his injury history. In other words, Flamengo wants to sign Dybala, that's confirmed, but Flamengo will only move forward after making sure that Dybala is physically well and that string of muscle injuries is no longer affecting the player, okay? So we also have some important news here, right? Which was actually the statement from Cesar Luis Merlo on UOL. Look at what Cesar Luis Merlo said. Look here, let's go.
Flamengo is interested in signing Paulo Dybala.
There has already been an approach. In other words, they're already circling the player, trying to sign him. They are already making moves there, right? The moves actually that he talks about.
El futbolista con su entorno. Look at that.
Making this connection with the player, with the people around him. Cesar Luis Merlo is also very well informed about Argentine football, okay?
The conversation still without a formal offer, not even an official letter.
No formal or official offers so far.
But there's talk about the possibility of Dybala joining Flamengo, so...
But yes, there's talk about the possibility of him joining Flamengo.
For a very important contract, a 4-year contract. Yes, the interest is real, it's straightforward.
The interest is real, it's genuine. So, the source connected to the board, who also assured me that it's real, but that they're evaluating the issue of injuries, injury history, and everything else, assured me. So the information is really matching up.
We'll see how it develops in the coming weeks. The Argentine's contract with Roma ends in the middle of the year.
Let's see how all this unfolds in the coming weeks. And the Argentine's contract with Roma is ending and they probably won't renew it.
To renew the contract and is considering different scenarios. One clear possibility is Flamengo. Another one, obviously not as important financially.
So the biggest possibility is Flamengo, but the other one, not as important, is Boca Juniors, which he will mention.
Boca Juniors has already made an offer and is waiting for the Argentine to make a decision.
Boca Juniors made the offer before Flamengo. Boca Juniors made an offer for the Argentine player Paulo Dybala before Flamengo.
But Dybala is not rushing. He's waiting to see if something attractive comes up from Europe, and if not, he will start considering alternatives in South America.
And the player is waiting to see if something good comes up for him in Europe. Otherwise, he will consider the interest from South American clubs.
Flamengo and Boca, then, two serious competitors.
Flamengo e Boca, então, são dois sérios competidores. The information I have is that Flamengo, in terms of finances, Flamengo is ahead. Flamengo is in a better position to pay, and Flamengo has a better chance of signing Paulo Dybala, but there's also the fact that he's Argentine and all that. Boca Juniors, let's see. The whole point is that this information from Cesar Luis Merlo is important, that he's also waiting for a club in Europe that's both appealing and interested in signing him. Well, now is an important moment. We have Vitão talking about Danilo, talking about the beginning of the work, working with Leonardo Jardim, praising Danilo and praising Eric Pulgar. This interview is spectacular. I invite you to watch it here until the end. Then let us know what you thought of the interview with the defender Vitão. A legendary Inter defender who is my friend Larry, played in the 70s and 80s. He told me, look, Vitão, the one you're trying to sign, is the best that's been at Inter in many years. Then I said, if Larry says so, he knows what he's talking about, so Vitão must be really good. Welcome, man. It's a pleasure to be talking to you. We've been following you since your time at Inter, a team that went through a really tough time last year. You still stood out at Inter, even during a tough time. So it's a pleasure to talk to you, Vitão.
The pleasure is mine. I'm glad to talk to you. Thank you for your words. I'm very happy to be here at Flamengo. I hope to meet expectations in the best way possible without feeling the pressure, and I'm prepared for that.
I wanted to start by saying this. When you were at Inter, the first news started coming out about you being signed by Flamengo. I wanted to know if you felt anxious. How is Flamengo seen by players who play in other states as well? Did you get nervous about this interest, about Flamengo's desire to sign you? And how do people down south see Flamengo as well? Flamengo reached out?
Of course, without a doubt. From the moment there was the first contact, when I found out they were interested, that they wanted me, of course, you start to feel anxious and nervous. But as a professional and with a lot of respect for international, I tried to stay 100% focused on Inter and put that aside a little bit, so it wouldn't interfere with my work on the field. But without a doubt, we get nervous, we get anxious. Flamengo is Brazil's biggest club and among the world's largest. And I was very happy that everything worked out. And the people from the south saw Flamengo, not just from the south, but from all over Brazil, saw Flamengo as a powerhouse, right? 95% of the players dream of playing for Flamengo. So much so that even international understood this step I needed to take in my career. And I was very happy that everything worked out, and I'm very happy to be here.
Hey, that's great. I wanted to ask you something, but I'm not sure if you know the answer. I was the press officer for the defender Juan. The defender Juan, back when I was starting out, I'm 47 years old now. When I was about 20 or 21, I started working as a press officer, and I was the press officer for Juan. And at the time, I got him on the cover of Placa magazine, saying that today I work at Placa, saying that he could be called up to Leão's national team. And the following Tuesday, he was called up. So I know what that excitement feels like. Working within the team, being with the player, feeling the excitement of a first call-up since I was right beside Juan. And I wanted to ask you about that. And Juan also played for Inter. Coincidence, right? Let me ask you about that. Do you believe that Flamengo can open the door to the national team for you? Obviously, you have to be doing well too. There's also the matter of you needing to have quality. Do you think Flamengo can help open doors to the national team like it has for many other defenders lately and even for Juan?
No doubt. I think that's exactly it. It's no use being at Flamengo if you're not performing. First of all, you have to be doing well at Flamengo. You have to be performing. You have to be in good physical shape, in a good mental state, mentally strong. And of course, Flamengo always enters every competition to win it. Exactly. Whenever you win important competitions, people will automatically be talking about you, especially if you're playing great matches. No doubt, I hope to learn as much as possible from those who are here. Speaking about my position, everyone is at the Brazilian national team level. In fact, they've all already been called up to the Brazilian national team. I try to learn as much as I can from them.
Only one is missing, right?
I try to learn as much as I can from them. God willing, my time will come too, with a lot of hard work, a lot of humility. And first, I want to play great matches here, win big titles.
But do you have that dream too, of course, right?
There'd be no doubt about it. It's every Brazilian player's dream. Join the Brazilian national team and play in a World Cup. I'm really rooting for those who are there, and I will be very happy if any of their names are on the final list.
We're rooting for them. Yes. And then in the next rotation, for the next World Cup, God willing, you'll have the opportunity too.
That's it. Amen. Like I said, I need to do a great job here, right? First of all, to make the most of the opportunities I have here. And as a result, I'll be prepared.
Who is the most fatherly and who is the most playful on the Flamengo squad today? Is there a clear father figure and a playful one?
The most fatherly one like that.
Let me add one more. I ended up forgetting. And you, which category would you put yourself in? Shy, quiet? What is Vitão like and who's the father figure and who's the playful one?
I'm very easygoing. I'm chill like that. Me too. They give us the freedom to joke around like that, but I've always been more laid back. And also because I'm just getting here now, you know? I try to stay more laid back, but I also talk to everyone. I joke around with everyone. But I think the most fatherly one, I think it's Danilo, in my opinion, and speaking personally, because he's a defender, because I've trained a lot alongside him. He's always giving me advice, even when he didn't play, and I did. He'd say, "So, what did you think of the game out there? How was it?" You know, giving me advice like that. I already admired him. Now, working together, I admire him even more. And the most playful one was Michael by far, right? Now, maybe I think Royal is more of a joker.
I figured.
Yeah, Royal is a joker.
Jorginho also seems to be a real leader, very communicative, right?
Of course, Gorginho too. I mentioned Danilo more because of his position, because I'm closer to him out there, you know. We see the game the same way, so we exchange ideas, but there are others. Jorginho, without a doubt, is one of them. Dal Pereira too, Alexandro, you know. All of them are great. He has a great characteristic, like of embracing, of demanding, of being like a father figure, you know.
Look, my next question was actually about that too, you know. But you kind of already answered that talking about Danilo, right? I was going to ask you about leadership. Who do you see as an example of leadership? If you've been talking to any player who has served as an inspiration for you, and I'll also add here which former player or current player inspires you, but you already talked a bit about Danilo. Maybe the leader you have within the group is Danilo.
Yes, without a doubt. Like I said, I already followed Danilo. There's no way not to because of his career and his journey. And you start to see things differently when you're there every day, when you're working, when you're exchanging ideas in person. And Danilo is a guy I really look up to, you know. I joke around with what he does in training. I always try to watch and copy him, even in Rondo, like playing that disguising the pass. And I try to do it sometimes too, you know. So for me, it's a great pleasure to be working with him, not just with him, but with all the other players too.
The fans have a lot of admiration for Eric Pulgar.
Yeah.
Today, there's no doubt that he's one of the pillars of Flamengo's defensive sector. How much does playing with a guy like Pulgar in midfield help you as center backs?
Wow, it makes us feel 100% secure, right? It's really important for us to have that first man in front of the defense, right? And with Eric, it goes without saying, right? It helps keep the ball from reaching us defenders cleanly, you know? We have to clear it. It's always coming in broken up. Either the midfielder or the forward can't dribble past him completely, so it turns into a 50-50 ball, or he comes from behind and makes a tackle. He's an exceptional player. And a lot of people see him as just a ball winner, right? but he helps us a lot in building up play too. He's got incredible quality, and it's really good. It's really enjoyable to play with a player like that in front of the defense.
And he's a guy that I notice really takes care of his own, his people, right? Like when he's with his team there, if someone comes in hard on a Flamengo player, he gets upset. You can see it on his face that
Him, without a doubt, it's obvious, right? And he's not the kind of player who goes there to fight, to warn. No, no, no. If someone goes in on one of his teammates, one of ours, he doesn't even say anything. He just takes note. And then right after he goes there and gets even. But of course, he often tries to get the ball, Of course. Very strong, very intense. Many times he gets the ball, the player, and everything.
but I've already noticed that it's because he doesn't like injustice. When he sees that someone did something out of malice, I don't see Pulgar doing anything malicious. I don't see that kind of malice coming from him. What I see is that it bothers him when they do it to someone on the team.
Yes.
Exactly. He must have a lot of respect from you all on the team, right?
No, a lot. Exceptional. Besides being a great player, right? And he's also a good person.
I can imagine. Thanks, Vitão. Hey, someone who sent his regards, who's here for the national team's game, also came to the United States to watch the national team's game, was Flamengo's little angel. He said he's cheering for you there, always there by the little wall, rooting for you too.
Yeah, send one back.
I'll ask you to wrap up by sending wishes for good health and a speedy recovery to our dear Chapolin, who's facing a minor health issue. He's also on the little wall, Mengao's Chapolin, right?
Yes, just stopping by to leave my prayers, right? My prayers, sending best wishes for a quick recovery. This is just a phase, and I'll be praying here. Soon you'll be 100%.
Vitão, good luck. I hope you win many titles with Mengao, get called up to the Brazilian national team, and that I can cover you in the national team games too, and interview you already wearing the Maria Linha jersey as well. Next time it will be with the Maria Linha jersey.
Thank you for the opportunity. I was already following your work. It's a pleasure speaking with you, and this year is going to be a winning year, God willing.
God willing, Vitão, take care. God bless.
Thanks. Take care.